everyone, this is Jesse coming at you with a look at the brand new Amazon Kindle Fire. Now I'm recording this review on November 16th. I actually got this device yesterday on November 15th, the actual release date for the device. Now I pre-ordered this online originally on September 28th, the day the device was actually announced. I wasn't supposed to get this until today, but since Amazon went ahead and released these at brick and mortar stores on the 15th, they also decided to go ahead and ship these a bit early so that those who pre-ordered did get them on the release day. If you're interested in picking one up at a brick and mortar store, you can check out places like Walmart, Target, Sam's Club, and I can't remember if it's Staples or Office Depot or perhaps both. But if you decide to check out one of those office places, you should be able to find one of these. Now I dropped in at Target today just to see. I was actually looking for a cover, and I saw some of these on the shelf there. The ones that actually show up at the brick and mortar stores, the packaging is nearly identical. The only difference is there's like a sticker or some sort of graphic here on the front that just shows off the Kindle Fire itself. I wasn't able to see if the sides of the box were different, but I know the front of the box is itself. So here is a look at the packaging that the device comes in. Swing it back around here to the front. You'll see that I've already opened it, obviously. But there's just a pull strip here, and once you pull it off, you're able to open it up. Once it's open, you'll see that we have, well, the Kindle Fire device itself. Really reflective screen there. And underneath there, we have a power adapter. It's micro USB. And no, it's not just thrown in there. It's actually packaged a bit better than what that was, but I just wanted to show you how it was actually shipped. And then if we look here at the top lid, you'll see that there's a little cardboard instruction sheet inside there. And you'll notice that the top of mine is actually ripped off. I've actually got the other portion right here. It's got a little arrow up here and just shows that you're supposed to pull it out. And this shows you how to charge it, how to turn it on, how to unlock it, and things like that. Well, mine was actually glued down inside there, so when I tried to pull this out, the top ripped off, and this is what I'm left with. So the quality or the construction on the packaging there, at least for the instruction part, not all that great, but I'm just going to throw this away anyway, so I don't really care. So let me go ahead and put that back in there, fold this back up, set this aside, and let's look at the power adapter here real quick. This is micro USB, and it is just the wall charger. Now what I found kind of odd was that the device doesn't actually include a micro USB cable, which is kind of odd because you can transfer files over to this. There's 8 gigabytes of internal storage, so you can move your images, just regular old files, videos, and things like that. So hopefully you have a micro USB cable laying around somewhere. If you do, you can go ahead and plug it in right down here on the bottom, and you're able to transfer files over. If you don't, you might want to check out monoprice.com. They're probably the cheapest around, and you should be able to find a micro USB cable there. So, alright, so let's go ahead and set this stuff aside and take a look at the Kindle Fire itself. So before we go ahead and turn this thing on to see what the software looks like, just want to give you a quick rundown of the actual device itself. So here it is. I'm obviously holding it here in landscape mode. That's what it looks like in portrait mode. First thing you'll notice about the screen is that it's extremely reflective. I mean, you can see my camera there, you can see me, so obviously very, very reflective. Let me go ahead and show you the top of the device here. It does have stereo speakers, so here is your left, here is your right, and I'm obviously holding it so that it looks like it's backwards, but here's your left, here's your right. If you go ahead and look on the back of the device, you'll see that it does say Kindle. Down here at the bottom, it does say Amazon. Now if we flip the device back over here and look at the bottom, not quite sure how good this is going to come across in the video here, but this here is your earbud or earphone adapter right here, just your standard mini jack. Here is the micro USB port, and then right next to that here is the power button. The sides are completely smooth, no buttons or anything on the side of there. And there is a look at the device itself. So let's go ahead and turn this thing on so that I can show you the software. So to turn on the Kindle Fire, what we have to do is press the power button located on the underside of the device. Now the button will obviously change location depending on the orientation that you're holding it, And for the purposes of this review, I'm going to hold the device in the landscape orientation here, so that moves the button over here to the side. So I'm going to go ahead and press the power button here. And once I do that, that brings us here to the lock screen. You'll notice that we have a wallpaper here. If I go ahead and unlock the device and lock it right back up and unlock it again, you'll notice that the wallpaper changes. The wallpaper changes each and every time that you go to actually unlock the device. Thought that was kind of cool. Don't know that you can actually modify the wallpaper. I don't believe that you can. I believe it's just cycles through a stock number of wallpapers there. So let me go ahead and unlock this now. Once I do that, that brings us here to our home screen. And the very first thing that we see is this carousel. That's what it's called. It's our carousel of most recently used items. And that shows us anything from books to applications to movies to music and even web pages here. Practically anything that you view or do on the device will show up here in the carousel of most recently used items. Now down below that, if we move up here, or move down, excuse me, you'll see that we have my list of favorites. If there's something here in the carousel that I want to add to my list of favorites, what I do is long press on it, and a menu will pop up here that says Add to Favorites. Go ahead and do that, and if I move back down here, you'll see that right there, my movie was added to my list of favorites. If I want to remove a favorite, again, I just long press on it. It will say Remove from Favorites. Go ahead and press on that, and you'll see that it's no longer in my favorites. Now I can keep adding as many favorites as I want. More favorites I add, more space will be added and make room for the favorites that I'm adding. So that is the initial home screen here. Up here at the top left, we do have a search bar, so I can search on there. As you can see, it brings up the Android keyboard here. If I go ahead and click on cancel, that'll take me back here to the home screen. And then pretty much anything else you want to do on the device comes from the buttons located up here at the top. So the very first thing that you see is Newsstand. If I click on Newsstand, we got some additional options up here. Currently the cloud is selected. I've got no newsstand items in there, and I don't currently have any newsstand items on the device. However, if I click on the store here, it will go ahead and load the Amazon Newsstand store, and I can go ahead and download some magazines in here if I so choose to do. Probably not going to be reading too much on this device, so that's probably not going to happen. So in order to get back, I'm just going to click on the home button down here in the bottom left. Takes me back to the home screen. Next up here we have books. The device does ship with the Oxford American Dictionary book. And again, we can look here at the cloud or on the device, or I can click on the store button here, and this will take me to the Amazon store. And recommended for me is apparently some Robotech books, and you'll notice that we can go ahead and click on these books, and then we can just go ahead and order them. A lot of these, I believe all of them, also have samples, so you can actually download them and preview them on the device. So let me go back to the home screen here. Next up we have music, and that brings me here to the music here on the device. Now I currently have cloud selected. If I go to device, I don't currently have anything on the device itself. I do use Amazon's cloud storage for my music, and here are the songs that I have on here. If I long press on one of these, I can go ahead and download the album to the device itself, or if I go to an album and select a song on here, I can go ahead and just download the song itself. So go back here to my home screen again. I've also got video. The device does come with 1 month free of Amazon Prime. As part of the Amazon Prime package, you do get free streaming video. So there's anything from TV shows to movies on here. So lots of stuff on here. Back to the home screen here. If I go to docs, you'll see that included on the device are the instructions. And I don't currently have any other documents on here, but I can add more documents if I so choose. Go back here to the home screen. Then I have my apps over here. And just like with the books and the music, you'll notice that it's separated by cloud and by device. If I go to device, these are the applications that I have installed on the device itself. Go to the cloud, these are the applications that I currently have stored in the cloud. And if I click on one of these that isn't currently installed, so Pandora for example, it'll bring up the application here and give me the option to install it. So go back here to the home screen. And then lastly we have web. And we're currently looking at, go ahead and close this. We're currently looking at allrecipes.com, which is a website that someone on the AllSpark forums wanted me to bring up and actually demonstrate for them on video. The reason for that is because this is pretty graphic and flash intensive, and it does a really pretty good job at actually rendering the page quickly, and the scrolling here is relatively smooth. You can zoom in here, zoom back out. If I go to, let's go to YouTube here. See how quickly this comes up. Now the more you use the website, the quicker it is, because Amazon is actually caching a lot of that stuff on their servers. And it doesn't look like the YouTube website is coming up. Of course, a website that I picked to demonstrate doesn't actually decide to load for me. So I don't know if there's a problem with YouTube. Let's try that one more time. And it says it's done loading, so I have no idea. There we go. There's YouTube. So there's the YouTube website. Zoom in, zoom out. This obviously does support Flash, so I can play any of these videos using Flash. We also get a lot of the annoying ads that are on websites. So if I go to CNN here, you'll notice that CNN actually loaded much quicker than YouTube did. Not quite sure why that is. I found that the websites load rather quickly on the device, and I don't know what was up with YouTube there. So, but as I scroll down here, lots of stuff on here. I can zoom in. So I'm pretty happy with the actual performance of the web browser. I think it renders the pages fairly quickly. I can turn off the option of having Amazon servers actually download and handle some of the stuff for their Silk browser. Currently I have it turned on. Doesn't really matter to me. I'm not worried about privacy on here. So back to the home screen. And now if we tap up here at the top right, this does give us a list of options here. We can lock the orientation of the screen. We can change the volume. We can change the brightness. We can turn Wi-Fi on or off. We can sync. And there's also an option for more. When I go to more, it brings me up a list of other items here that I can click on. So there's terms of use, legal notices, the device, Kindle keyboard, network stuff, security, display, sounds, my account, help and feedback, things like that. Now in addition to that, if you also have some sort of notification that comes up on the device, if you look over here at the top left, it'll say Jesse's Kindle. And if I just tap on that, it'll come up and show my notifications. Now, if it doesn't show a little number next to there and you tap on the Kindle portion up there at the top left, it doesn't actually display a notification bar. You would think maybe it would show an empty notification bar, but it simply just doesn't display anything. So as long as there isn't a number up there, you don't have to worry about actually bringing up the notification display. So that is a quick run through of the operating system here on the Kindle Fire and some of the features and functionality. Like I said, I'm not quite sure what was up with YouTube there. I haven't experienced any slowness in actually rendering web pages yet. So it was the first time I actually encountered that. Of course, it happened on the video, but like I said, first time for that. So overall, what do I think of the device? I'm actually absolutely loving the device for $199, so sub $200. I think it's a great little media consumption device. Does it compete with the iPad? No. And everybody out there that's reviewing this device and is actually comparing it to the iPad has their head in their ass, because this is not even in the same league as the iPad as far as I'm concerned. The iPad you can actually use in the enterprise and things like that. This device, it's strictly media consumption. If that's all you're interested in, I would highly recommend taking a look at this. For $199, you can't go wrong. I've had absolutely no issues with it yet, and I'm loving it. So, not quite sure on battery life yet. I haven't run it down completely. I did charge it last night, and this morning, after no use whatsoever, after it was charged, I did unplug it from the wall. But after no use, the battery was down to like 86%. So it's constantly connected to Wi-Fi, and I do have an Exchange email client on here, so that's probably contacting that quite a bit. So that may be also an issue with why my battery was draining quicker than what I thought it should. But overall, I don't currently have any sort of stats on the battery, as I haven't actually run it all the way down yet. But with that said, like I said, I love the device. $200, can't beat it. So yeah, if you're interested, I would highly recommend picking one up. And especially now that they're at brick and mortar stores, if you're interested in picking it up, you can go there and get one. You can try it out. If you're not happy with it, you can just go ahead and return it locally. Alright, so that's my thoughts on the brand new Amazon Kindle Fire. Until next time, this is Jesse, signing off. I'm not your